All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Oh, shit, this morning, excuse me. Thank you for joining me this morning. Anyway, uh, let's get on with the program. So, today we're talking about supplements for beginners. And reason being is that this light is kind of off. Reason being is that a lot of people, not a lot, but a few people are asking me about supplements. And my answer initially, when I started looking into supplements, I didn't start taking them till I was about a year or two, maybe even 3 years into lifting. So I didn't even touch protein shakes for the first part of my workout journey, whatever the hell you want to call it. I am drinking bulletproof coffee. Didn't have great sleep last night, so this actually gives you a little bit of a boost. Um, so, and it does taste good, believe it or not. Though the oil and the butter, and people are like butter, yeah, butter. It doesn't taste too bad. But anyway, so guys, the first thing with supplements is you have to change your diet and your lifestyle. You could take all the supplements in the world. If you are not going to change your diet and your lifestyle, you're not going to reap the benefits of a lot of the supplements that are out there. Now, initially, some of them will kick in, especially those of them with a little bit more, let's say, caffeine. You're going to feel the difference because of the caffeine kick. But if you want to start reaping the benefits of a lot of these supplements, including vitamins, you have to change your lifestyle. You have to change your diet. As simple as that. You're not going to outpace your lifestyle and diet with supplements. You're just not. Now initially when you're younger, you probably could, but as you get older, supplements don't kick in as best as you want to. There are a lot of fat burners out there. There's a whole argument about fat burners, and I'm not going to get into it, at least not in this video. But we're definitely going to start with changing your lifestyle and your diet. You will start to see a lot of changes with, again, lifestyle and diet changes before supplements. Now, there are a ton of supplements that you can take, guys. In fact, you could possibly be taking too much. You're not taking them at the right time. You're not taking the correct doses, or you're going with the wrong company or brand, and or you're stacking them incorrectly. Stacking meaning, for example, vitamin D3 with vitamin K2. Those two need to be married together for the vitamin D3 to actually start working in the body. It's also like turmeric and black pepper. It's another stacking effect. Granted, that's not stacking, that's mixing, right? The difference with stacking and mixing is how you take it. So with pills, you're stacking them. With powder supplements, you're mixing. That makes sense, right? So like turmeric, you can take turmeric pills and black pepper pills, or you can take turmeric pills with black pepper in them. And there's another supplement that you need to take with turmeric, but I can't remember what it is right now. But vitamin D, for example, K2, both of those go hand in hand. Your body's going to absorb the vitamin D3 better with K2. Now you can go with powder or liquid form. Liquid form is a lot faster into the body than powder. Powder, unfortunately, creatine or not, or creatine included, you have to load for a few weeks to reap the benefits, and you have to be constant about that loading. So you're not going to reap the benefits immediately. You're not going to drink creatine and be like, bang, there it goes. No, it takes a while to get there. Some supplements take 2 weeks, some supplements take 30 days. Creatine takes about a week, right? Vitamin D3, K2 takes about a couple days for it to kick in. All right, so keep that in mind. Just because you start taking it right away doesn't mean it's going to have an effect. You're not, and anybody that tells you I feel it right away, you're full of shit. This shit takes a little bit to load into the body. Ginger, okay, K-Man, thank you for that. That one that escaped my mind. I'm pretty sure there was another one. It was turmeric. Ginger is one, but there was another one in there. I believe in muscle testing and using it on every supplement. Well, yeah, Moonsprout. You just notice the changes when you start taking these supplements. But again, if you You will start feeling better with just those two changes, diet and lifestyle changes. You'll start feeling better immediately. That's the one you'll feel better almost right away. For example, it takes about a day after you start, not after you start, after you fast for a 24-hour period after eating junk your entire life, you start to feel better. Especially if you go to sleep and you wake up and you're like, man, I don't feel sluggish. My stomach doesn't feel bloated. Why do I feel so good? Because I didn't eat like shit for 24 hours. And then you phase into the diet change, right? So to diet change from a shitty diet into a clean diet can be done. But if you fast in between that to get your body ready for proper nutrition, proper foods, clean protein, clean fat, clean carbs, your body's going to feel a lot different. And that's almost immediately. That will take place, or you will feel that effect over taking any of these pills. Now, a lot of these vitamins and supplements you should still take, but you also got to be aware of marketing. Marketing will get you 1,000% of the time. And I'll go over some of the marketing schemes, but right now, let's focus on this. Now, guys, eating clean and only eating whole foods, you're going to feel the difference right away. The other lifestyle change is not so much not hanging out with your friends anymore, or not doing what you like to do it, but the one lifestyle change that changes everything is sleep. A lot of people, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's over 30% or 40% of Americans, I don't know about the world, but I know about Americans, we have shitty sleeping habits. K-Man, yes, fasting, you can drink water, you can drink green tea, no sugar, no milk. Smoothies I would stay away from because of sugar from the fruits. So smoothies are no-go. Bulletproof coffee or black coffee, absolutely, while you're fasting. Bone broth, whether that's beef or chicken, you can take that while fasting. There was a debate for a little while about bulletproof coffee, but you're not putting any sugar, you're not putting any creams, anything like that. That is all fats and MCT oil. Excuse me, I forgot to mention that. It's a more important thing. MCT oil is in the bulletproof coffee. So you can take that when you... Your body... Moon sprout, I never heard of that. If you hold a supplement in your hand and ask your body if it needs it, it will lean forward. Or, all right, man, if that works for you, fine. But there's also an easier way of doing that if you don't believe that. The other way is a lot more expensive if you're going to do it that way. There is a test that you can take. It's not a methacholine. That's for lungs, if I'm not mistaken, a respiratory system. It's a methylated something test that breaks your body down to a cellular level of what you need and what you don't need. That test is expensive, but you only have to take that test once. And then once you take this test, it tells you exactly what your body needs to take. Whether that's more creatine, less creatine, more vitamins, less vitamins, whether that's A, B, vitamin K, C, E, it'll tell you everything you need to know. And like what foods to stay away from, what foods you can eat. This test is pretty good, but again, it's expensive. The lowest I've seen it was $600. Nope, I'm a liar. The lowest I've seen it was either $300 or $400. The highest I've seen it was about $1,200. $1,200, it better come with fucking gold lace chocolate bar. But anyway, sleeping, guys, is going to change the game immediately. If you go to sleep at a set time, and when I mean a set time, guys, I mean you go to sleep and you set your alarm for you to go to bed. And now people are like, really? Yes. You're sitting there watching TV. You're like, you're mindlessly scrolling on YouTube on your TV or Netflix, and then the alarm goes off and you go, all right, 9 o'clock, let me start winding down. You turn off your TV, you go into your room. Now, I don't have a TV in my bedroom for the purpose of going right to sleep. A TV in your bedroom is a bad idea. The TV should only be in the living room, in the common meeting area, not in your kitchen and not in your living room, not in your bedroom. Those two rooms should never have a TV in it. That's a different discussion. Now, no TV in the bedroom, that means you go right to sleep, right? You're already starting to wind down. You stay away from your devices. And now the devices like cell phones, iPads, computers, they have this sleep light, if you will, where it goes from a blue light to a yellowish light. And I'm like, okay, stay away from that, because the adrenaline kick or dopamine or even laughing starts to raise your the hormones in your body from resting to being more active. You start laughing, for example, you're looking at comedy skits on your phone, you start laughing, you want to laugh some more. Laughing's addictive, believe it or not. So you don't want to be addicted to laughing at 9, 10 o'clock at night, so you put your phone away completely. Now, some people will say read a book if you want. Books are boring for the most part. Books slow your thinking down, unless you read an exciting book like 1 second after. Then you get to a part in that book where you're like, shit, what else is going to happen? So you might not want to read that. Self-help books are really good to read as you go to sleep, because they get your brain thinking, but they don't put you in that zone where you need to fucking like do more. So that's the what you call it. Set your clock for relaxing and slowing the brain down. Then set your clock again for bedtime. Bedtime should be around 9, 10, 11 o'clock, depending on how many hours of sleep you want. You want 7 to 8 good hours of sleep. 7 to 8. Anything over 8, like for me, I'm all screwed up now. If I sleep 9, 10 hours, I'm shot for the day. If I sleep more than 4, I'm good. 8, perfect. But I can survive off of 4. That's me. Not everybody's the same. Some people can survive off of 6 hours of sleep. 8. But you need proper rest. Getting your room cool or cold is another one that's going to help you sleep better. Now, before we start turning to, again, supplements to help you sleep, try to go as natural as you possibly can. This is why when people are like, supplements, what should I take? What should I do? Supplements are normally for those people who have been in the game for a long time and need a little bit extra boost. A lot of sleep supplements are needed for a lot of people, but a lot of people don't do the wind down technique. They don't get off their phone an hour before or half hour before they're about to go to sleep. A lot of people will, again, read exciting news articles that get them pissed off. Like, if you don't like Trump or if you don't like Biden, you can read an article, get pissed off before you're going to bed. That's no way to sleep. Also, eating. You should not be eating 3 to 4 hours before going to sleep. 3 is good for me. 4, some people might need it, especially if you have a slow digestive system. Now, if you're going to eat around 7, 8 o'clock, you need to go for a walk, so that you start the fat burning process or the food burning process in your stomach. So now when it's time to go to sleep, you got nothing in your stomach and you can lay down with no problem. Yes, a cold room is absolutely the best. I mean, holy shit. You cannot, because then it lowers everything in your body and then you start to go to sleep. Yes, moon sprout. I stay away from melatonin. It doesn't make my dreams crazy, but I wake up like I was drugged. Right? I'm like, what the fuck happened last night? That's why I don't take melatonin. I use valerian root or ZMA, zinc magnesium mix. Those two, you can't go wrong. Some people use ashwagandha. Ashwagandha relaxes you, which you want supplements to relax you, not put you to sleep. Melatonin puts you to sleep. Valerian root, ashwagandha, zinc magnesium. There's one to take for your sleep. Let me find it. There's one to take for your sleep. It's not citrate. It begins with an M, but that magnesium helps you sleep. You want it to help you sleep, not put you to sleep. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Never find it when you need it. And then when you have it, testosterone, nope. Of course, I can't find it now, but I can find everything else that I don't need on here, but I can't find that. But I had a magnesium cheat sheet, and when I find it, I'll post it. But here it is, magnesium sleep, glycinate, magnesium glycinate for sleeping and relaxing. Those are the two. That's the one that you want to take. But yes, thank you, K-Man, and thank you, Zorata. 7. I'm just going to call you 7, but thank you. Right. So there's a bunch of different magnesiums out there. You'll like malate is muscle and energy. Turate is for heart and blood pressure. There's different ones out there, right? Then there's citrate for digestion, or rather constipation, right? So you got to, and then magnesium chloride, which I've never taken, but that's for digestion. And then you got sulfate, which is for muscle soreness. Now, ZMA in general, or zinc magnesium in general, is going to help your muscle relax. So you want to take that if you have problems sleeping. But before you take supplements, try these tips. Making sure your room is completely blacked out. Make sure the room is completely blacked out when you're sleeping, so the early morning sun doesn't disrupt you. Now, there is discussion. Some people say use early morning sun to wake up. That could be 5, 6 in the morning if you like. You can do that. The sun doesn't normally break and wake me up around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I use that for me, but some people need blackout curtains. If you don't have blackout curtains, you can also use a sleep mask. I tried using a sleep mask. I fucking hate it. I do not like it. I wore it one night. I woke up and my eyes were hurting. And there are some that like bubble over your eyes, so it's not pressed against your eyes. There are those, but I didn't like it anyway. It was on my face. Like, fuck this noise. So I didn't use it. Obviously I still have it sitting in the room. Now, those are basic tips that are going to get you to sleep. Some people say stretching before you lay down is a great way to relax the body. I have stretched a couple times, and I definitely feel the difference. Believe it or not, as weird as it sounds, as I'm taking a warm shower, I stretch in the shower. Right now, when I mean stretch, I'm doing standing stretches. I'm not like in the shower, in the bottom, doing Pilates and shit. I'm touching my toes, stretching out my hamstrings, stretching out my back while I'm standing up and taking a warm shower. I almost immediately fall asleep once I get into the room. Now, the bulletproof coffee, I'm going to do a short video on that. There is a specific coffee that I'm drinking with it. You can drink any coffee, but a lot of coffee out there is garbage and has like chemicals and a lot of bullshit. This coffee is supposedly pure, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. In another video. But anyway, guys, so again, eating clean, stay away from garbage and processed foods. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Yet we still eat processed and garbage. That's the crazy shit. We still eat processed garbage, and everybody knows not to eat because we are conditioned to look at McDonald's or Popeye commercials and want to go and have that. And don't get me wrong, every time I walk by a Popeyes, even McDonald's, I'm like, man, I would love a McDonald's burger, but I know that it's garbage. Five Guys is my go-to right now, and 7th Street Burger, that's in Manhattan. I don't think it's anywhere else. Actually, it is. I thought they opened one in Dubai or some shit like that. 7th Street Burger's really good. Small, tasty. I would absolutely go with those two. I go with those kind of burgers before I go with, like, In-N-Out. I think they sold out. I think In-N-Out sold us out, guys, because I went to the one in Las Vegas and it sucked. It was horrible. But anyway, not the point. The point, guys, is that you're going to make these changes to your diet. You're going to eat clean. You're going to stay away from processed garbage. You're going to eat clean proteins, clean fats, and clean carbs. I say clean proteins because a lot of the protein bars that are on the market are garbage. They're no good. When I say good fats, I'm talking about shit like avocado, right? Grass-fed butter, things like that. Olive oil. Those are the fats that you're going to want to go with. Clean carbs. That would be like organic rice, vegetables, fruits. Those are the things that you're going to. Quitting your vices of prep. Man, is it? You have no idea. So these are the things you're going to do to change your diet before you go to supplements. Now, if you love bread, go with organic sourdough bread. That's possibly the only bread you can eat. And I would say quit that as best as you can. Guys, the object of the diet is to lose weight and start feeling better. The object of the lifestyle change is to start feeling better before you turn to supplements. Now, some supplements you're going to need because you're deficient in, like vitamin, what is it, D3 for black folks, or vitamin D. You need that. You can get that from the sun, but because of our skin color, the sun rays are not soaked in as great. Now, granted, early morning sunrise helps you sleep. I forgot to mention that. You want to set your body up for sleep that night. You got to get up in the morning. You got to get that sun rays in, and into your eyes specifically, and on your body first thing in the morning, and that sets your circadian algorithm for later that night to start sleeping better. Believe me, I started doing it and I saw the difference almost immediately. I got up in the morning. It gets you energized for the rest of the day. You might need a little bit of a pick-me-up, and I would try to stay away from regular coffee. I would go with mushroom coffees. I'll do a video on that as well. But I take Everyday Dose and Rise. I just got a new one called Cooper or Cuppa. That one, that seems to be pretty organic. There's also mud water. You can go with that, or you can go with Bulletproof Coffee. But Bulletproof Coffee, if you're going to have that, try to have it once a day. Try not to drink it twice. It's a lot of fat in it. That's why it's good for like midday coffee drink. I'm drinking it now because later I'm probably going to have mushroom coffee. Now, once you made all these lifestyle changes, guys, again, there are vitamins you're going to be deficient in, and those are the vitamins or supplements you're going to take. So for men, vitamin B complex, vitamin C, E, D, or D3 with K2 mixture, selenium for prostate health, if I'm not mistaken, CoQ10, which I can't take. I was taking it, but it was fucking with me, so I stopped taking that. And ashwagandha with KSM 66. Make sure it has KSM 66 in it for ashwagandha. Now, regular ashwagandha I was taking during the day with the KSM 66, which relaxes your body and helps build muscle and helps boost testosterone, excuse me. Also, natural testosterone support formula, there's many you can take on the market. Now, I was taking one called Status. I saw a huge difference with that, almost right away. Moringa, which women can take and men can take, Moringa also help. Now, guys, ladies who are on here, forgive me, but you're going to know a lot of this stuff is working because you're going to wake up a certain way in the morning. Now, I remember probably for a couple of years, I was just waking up regular. I was like, okay, I toddle over to the toilet. I started working out, and squats, by the way, also boost your testosterone. Oh, the coffee, the mushroom coffee that I ordered went to my fucking ex-wife, and she just texted me as I talked about it. Sea moss, thank you, K-Man. Sea moss also helps. Sea moss is an acquired, not so much of a taste, but sea moss has a to it, like a sliminess to it. You can put it in warm water, not hot. Mix it up till it breaks down and drink it that way. You can, if it's like applesauce consistency, you can eat it that way. But sea moss is the shit. Moringa tea is good. I take moringa powder pills. You can also take moringa powder. So I think the tea breaks down faster into the body. I do take the pills. I do feel a difference. Now, when I mean I wake up regular, a lot of these pills, guys, when you start eating clean and you start working out, especially when you start squatting, whether that's body weight squats or weighted squats are better, you start waking up feeling energetic. You start waking up with, and guys grow up, women grow up, a hard on. That's how you know your test is back, or your test is getting back there. You start waking up with a hard on. Especially when you start changing your diet. You start feeling more sexually active. You're like, yo, you turn around and start, fondling your wife now, and she's like, what's into you? Well, that's what's in you. That change adds weight all the time. I'm like, every time I live alone, so I can't do that. But my point is, you start feeling different. You get up in the morning more energetic. You're like, yo, I gotta fuck or I gotta work out. Those are your two choices. You're probably gonna want to work out, right? Because you're gonna start seeing the difference. Those are the things you should be taking in the morning. Now, the ZMA, guys, is a zinc magnesium mix. I take that. It helps with muscle recovery. Keep that in mind. Ashwagandha helps with boosted testosterone status, which is a company I use. It's a natural testosterone support. I saw that almost right away. Almost right away. It took about a day or two to start seeing it. Sea moss also helps with testosterone boosting as well. I felt a difference with my gut with sea moss. Sea moss is the shit. I would almost, not almost, I promise you, you'll feel the difference with sea moss. So, ladies, this is for you guys. Now, keep in mind, I'm sorry, guys, zinc, selenium, and CoQ10 are worth considering because of their antioxidant and immune boosting properties. There's a big immune boosting and antioxidant. And antioxidant is good for getting a lot of the stressors out of your body, like cortisol, for example, right? These CoQ10 is good for lowering the cortisol in your body. Less stress in your life, you want to do that on the outside. Yes, you're going to need, you might need some of these pills, zinc, ZMA, CoQ10, to lower the cortisol in your body, but you need to do that on the outside, meaning sleep better. Stop listening to news that stresses you out. If you have a stressful family, try to calm that down. I wouldn't know how other than to cut them off. But if you can't cut them off because they're your kids, you might need to take supplements to lower them. I was taking something called cortisone or cortisol. Cortisone. It's called cortisone. I'll get you the what you call it name later, and I'll put it in the community board. But I saw a difference when I was taking that. And being that, again, the trauma, I hate saying that I went through earlier this year, that was heavily used. And that was heavily needed. And it worked, for the most part. At least in the morning it works. But for ladies, the first three that you're going to want to take, especially being menopausal, but ladies need to take vitamin D3, omega-3 fatty acids, and magnesium. Now, a lot of the fish fatty acids are supposedly inflammatory. There are other fatty acids that you can take as well. But those are the three that you want to take: magnesium, omega-3, and vitamin D3. Also, you want to look at vitamin Bs and try to take a complex if you can, but you want to focus on, if you can't find a vitamin B complex, you want to focus on vitamin B12, vitamin B6, and 9. 9 is folate, vitamin B12 and 6 are with energy production, mood, and red blood cell production, meaning you develop more red blood cells. You're going to want to take that. Now, there was something that I found online called organic shatavari. I just heard about that yesterday. It helps out with hormones and reproduction functions and helps maintain optimal monthly cycles for ladies who are still cycling. If you are menopausal, you're going to want to focus on B6 and B1, which is thiamine. You're going to want to focus on that if you are menopausal or after menopause, B6, B1. Again, these are things I research and look online. As far as menopause goes, lady, menopause is a fuck all problem for you women. I listen to women talk about this shit. I listen to a lady online, and my God, the shit that you guys go through with menopause is insane. The worst part about menopause is the no sex part. That's bad. There were women in the comment section that I was like not trolling, but I was like, being stealthy about. They were saying they were no longer attracted to their husband. But they said their husband. They didn't say men. That was the dangerous choice of words I kept seeing. And this is why, and again, ladies, not trying to throw you guys under the bus or any crazy shit like that, but this is why I think a lot of women cheat, because they are turned off to their husband because they've been with him for so long. Their hormones are all over the place, and they just want a new dick inside of them. A lot of divorces happen right around women entering their menopausal stage, and women have to fight. You got to fight like hell to stay in the game, and husbands have to come to an understanding. Now, I'm coming to an understanding with the irrational women I'm dealing with at this age, and because I see a lot of their irrational thought process or thinking, or they're switching moods, I go, all right, they're menopausing or they're entering menopause. Now, the problem with menopause And I did not know this, but it can last up to 20 fucking years. That's bad. So by the time a woman reaches her 60s, and in some cases her 70s, now she's out of the game, and now she's like, what the fuck just happened? What happened to that 20 years? And that's bad. There is no correcting it. That's the body's natural way of dealing with whatever it's dealing with. Now, one woman put it perfectly. She goes, in your early ages, that's why women are sexually active, to bear children. And then when they come to the age where they shouldn't be bearing children anymore, that's what menopause is. It's cycling the body down. But it's cycling it down really hard. Now, there are other hormonal replacements you could take while you are going through menopause. That can help. With menopause, I notice there are women who talk about not being attracted to their husband, and I notice that women saying they want to fuck everything in sight, including their husband. So women's hormonal imbalance with menopause is insane. It's broad, too. The amount of symptoms they go through is broad. I mean, it's everything. You would think a woman is dying from Ebola from some of the symptoms that are out there. I'm like, wait, what? Ringing in their ears, itchy feet, itchy hands, jitteriness, twitchy, headaches, blurred vision, which I thought was diabetes. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Women are going through that shit? And this is why men and women at the menopausal age are at the women at the menopausal age are alone, and men are alone because men just can't deal with some of the women that are going through that shit. And the problem is, if guys understood what women were going through, I think we would see a lot of couples pulling through this together. But men don't identify it, and some women can't identify it. Actually, a lot of women can't identify it. And that's why we're seeing a divorce rate go up. Yeah, listen, some women will go through it, and other women won't. Other women will go through menopause, but not as extreme. I'm talking about extreme cases now. Keep that in mind. There are women who didn't have extreme cases. There are women who do. Again, I'm not attracted to my husband, but I love my husband. That's bad. You better figure some shit out. Listen, that's also why I notice women in their they're also, and the whole sex thing is why some guys are willing to let their wives sleep with other men, and they're all over the age of 40. I was trying to figure that out for years, and then I started researching menopause, and I go, oh shit, light bulb went off in my head. That's a different subject that I'm not even gonna touch on here, but I will research more menopausal cures or workarounds, because there's really no cures, but the workarounds and things you should be taking and doing. But again, women, if you are entering menopause or you are in menopause, vitamin B6 or 1, better yet, just look for a vitamin B complex that has all the vitamin B you need. Hopefully that'll help some. Try to stay away from the medications that they're putting you on, because the medications, guys, you're like, I got itchy hands or jittery legs. They're going to put you on some bullshit medications that's going to compound the problem. And medications on the market today strip you of a lot of your vitamins and a lot of the supplements you need in your body. So now you're taking these pills that are stripping you and making matters worse. So keep that in the back of your head. It's just something that you need to track. And if you're going through menopause, guys, I think the one thing you should do, if you're going through menopause, the one thing you should do is write everything down. Write everything down that you're taking, write everything down that you're eating, see what works and what doesn't. I know, it's a lot of work, but if you want to keep your marriage together, you want to stay with your boyfriend, whoever the hell you're with, you're going to want to have to figure this out, and you're going to want to have a roadmap while you're going through this. So hopefully you can help somebody else out if they're going through the same thing. Other than that, guys, I'm going to end this here. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it as always. I am going to do more videos as well, speaking about stuff like this, but the live streams are just so much easier because I have the information sitting in front of me. So, guys, remember, before you start phasing on the supplements, lifestyle change, diet, and sleeping. Those are the two that are going to get you to where you need to be. And if you feel that you're still deficient in some vitamins, vitamin C, E, and D and B complex are going to be your go-tos. For natural testosterone support status, natural testosterone formula is what you're going to want to go with. but try your diet change first before you start doing natural testosterone support. Ashwagandha is my go-to. CoQ10 is a good energy boost. It didn't work for me. The B complex worked for me, but again, these are the vitamins you should definitely keep in the back of your head, especially for the antioxidants and their immune boosting properties. Because you start taking this shit, you start eating cleaner, you get sick way less. All right, guys, ladies, thank you for joining me. I will see some of you guys, I think tomorrow, or if not Tuesday night, for my doubleheader on the Angry Prepper channel and Angry Truth. Thank you, guys.